The Gospels tell us that women are the first witnesses to Jesus' resurrection. Last week, I showed what a terrible liability that would have been for the early church. Given the attitude towards women at the time, it would have threatened to undermine the whole thing, the whole faith, before it even had a chance to get off the ground. And that's why so many scholars are convinced that this part of the story is credible. No one in the early church would record women as first witnesses to these vital events unless they actually were. And that gives us good reason to trust what they're telling us about the tomb being empty, Jesus' tomb being empty, and them seeing him risen from the dead. But I also said that there's a twist to this part of the story that provides an even better reason to trust that it's true. There's something even more embarrassing about this story that wouldn't be there unless the story was absolutely true. What is it? It's the role the male disciples play, or should I say, the lack of role the male disciples play. These big, heroic disciples, male disciples of Jesus, this inner core of his closest inner circle, these great saintly future leaders of the church are nowhere to be found. They've gone completely AWOL. Look at Peter, their leader. He promises Jesus that no matter if everybody else abandons him, he never will. He'll stand by his side through thick and thin. But where is he? All it takes is an adolescent girl sitting outside the trial when they're by the charcoal fire outside the Sanhedrin trial, asking him whether he's a follower, challenging him about being a follower of Jesus, for him to go into hiding. An adolescent girl scares Peter into hiding. And there he is, cowering in fear in the upper room during Jesus' trial and crucifixion. He's still there 3 days later when the women go to the tomb and discover it empty. He's still there when the women on the way back from the tomb see Jesus risen from the dead. Peter is completely AWOL for all these most vital, critical events. In the fire service, the highest priority is life safety. The greatest thing a firefighter can do is in his career is to save a life. That's what we as firefighters live for. It's our highest calling, the ultimate call of duty. One night, my fire department got that opportunity. We got a call for a mother and a baby trapped in a second floor bedroom. The fire started in their living room, and while they were sleeping, it extended up the hallway and cut them off, trapped them in their upstairs bedroom. While we were en route, we heard over the police radio, the first officer on scene signing off, saying that the mother and baby were hanging out the second floor window, unable to get out. As we rushed to the scene, we were pumped to do this rescue. But a minute or so later, as we rounded the corner, we saw 2 police officers leading the mother and the baby down a ladder to safety. They had found a ladder in the garage of the house and rescued them. We were happy and relieved to see that the mother and daughter, baby, were fine, but we were completely deflated. We don't talk much about that fire. We talk a lot about other fires where one of us has done a rescue, but we don't like to admit the fact that it's embarrassing when the police do a rescue at a fire. That's our job. We're the ones who are supposed to be the heroes at fires, not them. The male disciples were Jesus' closest confidants. They were the ones that he chose, that he poured most of his time and energy into, the ones that he designated to lead his church after he was gone. They're the ones who are supposed to be there first to the tomb, first to see Jesus risen from the dead, first to these most important moments of Christian history. They're the ones who are supposed to be the heroes. And yet, where are they? They've gone AWOL. Oh, they could have been the heroes. They could be there, but they're hiding in fear. The only reason that the embarrassing fact of women being the first witnesses to the resurrection even happens is because of the even more embarrassing fact that these male disciples miss the most important moments of Christian history because they're such spineless twits. And nobody in the early church would ever invent such a humiliating turn of events, let alone record it in the Gospels. It has to be true. That's why we're on such solid historical ground with this story, this part of the story of the women discovering the tomb of Jesus empty and then claiming to see him risen from the dead. I would love to hear your thoughts or comments about this blog or any other, or any comments or questions you have. You can go to the Contact EJ page of the Raising Jesus website and leave them there. Also, if you haven't had a chance to yet, please like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you again for all the support that you've given me.